Hi, this week we'll be talking about API product managers. What is an API? This is an acronym that stands for Application Programmable Interface. What it is, how it works, it's basically an additional layer between the interface and the code base that can carry requests for information to the code base and then return the answer, the results. This can be used in order to keep the code base segmented, so you can change the code in small blocks without actually making bigger changes in the overall product. But the more common use case is when you want to allow users to use the information in your product outside its actual interface. So an API will be used if you want to show the tweets from your Twitter on your home page. So using the API, you will ask Twitter for your tweets. Twitter will give it back using the same API, and then you can use the information returned on your website and make sure that you always show the whole Twitter feed when someone, comes to your homepage. So while this doesn't sound too complicated, there are cases where the product, the API, is so complex that it needs its own product manager. And while this type of API product manager has still the same foundations and the same mission as a regular front-end product manager, there are slight differences. So basically, API product managers unlock the value for the front-end product managers, who can then have more flexibility in using the data, or the API product manager can unlock more sales opportunities as the data inside the product can be used inside different products, which comes to the space of integrations of different products, possibilities of upsell. The possibilities are really endless with APIs. However, this comes with boundaries to the API product manager. There is very little creative thinking behind creating the roadmap and the backlog. You, as an API product manager, have to be on the lookout for requests from the clients and from the internal stakeholders and adapt to that. You are not really in a business of innovation or creativity. Instead, you are in an extreme situation of prioritizing value and looking which updates will actually benefit the API the greatest. Some might say this is easier because you don't need to be too creative. Someone will say this position will be boring because you'll be just working with an API. Different product managers will prefer different things. An API product manager has to have an obsessive focus on documentation and communication. If you change something in how the API works and it will break some integration or it will break some very crucial part of your product, then expect the full backlash. I mean, the atomic explosion of angry stakeholders and users and partners. This is where you might be more stressed than a usual PM when doing a update, and you have to do everything you can to prevent it. Also, since you are in a position of working with partners, giving data, etc., your KPIs, your objectives won't be really client focused. You won't be there to get more clients, you won't be there to get more usability of a feature. Instead, you will have to make sure that the API is quick, secure, accessible, doesn't have any downtime, and this kind of more boring technical parameters, but making things boring doesn't make it critically important. So that's something that you need to be aware of as an API product manager. So what are the best practices for such an API product manager? First of all, you need to focus on security and simplicity. The more simple the API to use, the more partners are likely to benefit from it. And at the same time, it has to be very, very secure. You are, after all, giving your product's data to external parties, and you don't know what they can do with it if they manage to grab too much. You have to make sure that a single client can only access his data, and also in a limited fashion. So there is no way that too much data will be taken from the product if there's a security breach. And also with open APIs, where the users can take much more than like clients' data, but like general statistical data, you need to make sure that there's no possibility of draining your whole database or DDoSing your product. DDoS is a practice where an external party hacker creates so many connections to your product that it no longer can handle the traffic, and thus it dies, or it's very, very slow to use. So you have to be this web security expert in order to correctly guide your API, or at least have such experts on your team who will tell you on how to guide your product in order to keep it secure and safe. There will be also situations where you need to make sure that the API is secret.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
If it's only internal and you don't want external users to use it, then you basically have to make sure that no one will be able to find out about it. So there will be no possibility of people attempting to hack your internal API and get the data they are not supposed to get. Also, you need to be sure that if you are rolling out a very major update that makes significant changes to API, which makes the old version obsolete, then you run both old and new version in parallel for several months and make sure that all the partners and all the users that use this API were notified and had sufficient time to adapt to the new API. Sometimes it's going to be a mailing list, and sometimes it's going to be customer support that needs to call every client that uses the API and make sure that they are aware of the changes and they will be adapting to them. Obviously, sometimes that 6 months won't be enough, and maybe you'll have to selectively only keep the old API running, or in secret keep it running indefinitely and just not doing anything about it, and making sure that the client knows it's no longer the best and the most secure version. But just focus on making sure that the new version is being used by the majority of users and that it's the best one you can offer. Finally, as an API product manager, you have to be on top of any new trend, any new technology that appears, so that you can use it in your API to present yourself as an industry leader and be an inspiration for your technical team. While the product managers do not have to have technical background to be product managers, it would be more beneficial if you had one as an API product manager. So this is all for this week. Thank you and see you in the next video. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I really hope you liked it. And if you want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe, those buttons below. But apart from that, I'm also running a product management course on Udemy, which is crafted for aspiring and young product managers, as well as the more senior ones that are looking for more of an inspiration and where to grow their skills when they feel lost. So if you want to check it out, there's a link in the description, and hit me up if you want a discount coupon. I'm really happy to share it. Thank you. See you in the next video.